There are people in this world who would rather sit alone in a quiet room than smile at someone who doesn't mean it. And if that sentence just felt like home to you, keep watching, because this video was made for you. Most people think being alone means being lonely. They look at the person who skips the party, who doesn't reply to group chats, who eats lunch by themselves, and they assume something is broken inside them. They call it antisocial. They call it sad. But what if it isn't? What if the person sitting alone actually sees more clearly than anyone else in that crowded room? There's a certain kind of person in this world. They're not cold. They're not rude. They're not depressed, though people often mistake it for that. They are people who have simply felt the weight of pretending. They have sat in rooms full of people and felt invisible. They have laughed at jokes they didn't find funny. They have nodded along to conversations that meant nothing to them. And one day, something inside them quietly said, "Enough." Not with anger, not with bitterness, just a soft, tired, honest enough. And so they chose silence, not because they hate people, but because they love realness too much to fake it. You see, most people go through life performing. Every day is a small stage. They wear the right expressions. They say the right things. They show up to gatherings they don't want to attend, with smiles they don't actually feel. And this becomes normal. This becomes what friendship looks like. But there are some people, and maybe you are one of them, who simply cannot do that. Not because they're broken, but because they are deeply, quietly, painfully aware. They notice when someone's laugh is hollow. They feel when a conversation is just noise. They sense when they are around people who don't actually care, people who are just there to fill space, or to be seen, or to have an audience. And instead of pretending not to notice, they step back. Psychology calls this a high sensitivity to social authenticity. It means some people feel the difference between real and fake connection the way others feel a change in temperature. You just know. You walk into a room and within minutes you can feel whether the warmth is real or whether it's just performance. And once you feel that, once you truly feel it, going back to the performance becomes almost impossible. This is where the loneliness begins. Not the loneliness of being alone, but the loneliness of being surrounded by people and still feeling completely unseen. That is a different kind of alone. A quieter kind, a heavier kind. You are laughing, but you are not present. You are sitting in the group, but your mind is somewhere far away, watching everything from a distance, wondering if anyone in this room actually knows you, wondering if you disappeared tomorrow, anyone would notice the real you is gone, not just your body, not just the version of you that shows up and nods and smiles, but you. Most people run from that question. They fill the silence with noise. They collect friendships like trophies, hundreds of followers, dozens of acquaintances, always somewhere to call, always somewhere to be, because being busy with people means you never have to sit with that question. But the person who prefers solitude, they have already sat with it. They asked, they waited, and the silence answered. There is a psychological concept called the Dunbar Number. Robin Dunbar, a British anthropologist, discovered that human beings can only maintain about 5 truly close relationships at a time. Just 5. Everything beyond that is surface level, pleasant, maybe, but not deep. Most people pretend otherwise. They call everyone a friend. They spread themselves thin across dozens of relationships, none of which go very deep, and then wonder why they feel empty. But the person who chooses solitude has unconsciously understood this. They are not willing to waste emotional energy on connections that will never reach the depths they need. They would rather have one conversation that actually means something than 100 that don't. That's not isolation. That is a form of emotional intelligence that most people never develop. But here is where it gets complicated. Here is where the real pain lives. Because choosing realness over performance comes with a cost. And that cost is loneliness of a very specific kind. You watch people around you form easy friendships. You see them laughing, making plans, belonging to groups. And part of you, even the part of you that chose this, aches. Not because you want what they have, but because you want something they don't seem to want. You want something deeper, something truer, something that feels real. And that thing is rare. So you wait. You go home to your quiet room. You sit with your thoughts, your books, your music, your inner world, which is richer than most people would ever believe. And you wonder if there is someone out there who is sitting in their own quiet room, thinking the same thoughts, feeling the same weight. Usually there is. You just haven't found each other yet. The world was not built for people like you. The world rewards loudness. It rewards constant socialization, networking, showing up, being seen. It gives gold stars to the most performative, the most agreeable, the most socially active. But underneath all of that noise, underneath the parties, the group photos, the packed social calendars, there is a silent epidemic of people who have never been truly known by an yon. And you, sitting alone in your room, you may be the only person in your circle who even knows what that means. Here is the hard truth, and it might sting a little. Not everyone is capable of the kind of connection you're looking for. Most people are too afraid of silence to sit in it. Most people are too busy performing to ever be real. Most people will mistake your depth for coldness, your silence for sadness, your standards for arrogance, and you cannot change that. What you can do is stop pretending those connections are enough. Because every time you drain yourself trying to fit into friendships that don't fit you, every time you perform, every time you shrink yourself to make others comfortable, you betray the one person who has been there for you every single time: yourself. Solitude is not a prison. For certain souls, it is the only place honest enough to rest in. The people who truly prefer being alone are not running from the world. They are running towards something the world rarely offers: truth, depth, and the quiet dignity of not pretending. And in a world full of noise, choosing silence is not weakness. It is one of the bravest things a person can do. So if you are someone who would rather be alone than surrounded by fake, know this: you are not broken. You are not cold. You are not too much, or too difficult, or too complicated. You are simply someone who knows what real feels like, and you refuse to live without it.